All right, hello, Star Trek. Today we're watching some Enterprise. So, that's cool. Enterprise is pretty good. Despite what people might tell you, Enterprise
No,
is great.
wrong.
That said, we are watching an episode that a lot of people hate, A Night in Sickbay, so that's fun. It's not the first episode. The first episode is Dead Stop. Season 2, Episode 4, so everyone queue up to Dead Stop, which is the name of the episode. And the name of the episode is Dead Stop. So, queue up for that. If this is your first watch along, what you do is you queue up Dead Stop, and then when the countdown to press play hits 0, you press play, and we watch Star Trek. There's also... Hi. There's also a link to Discord in the description, so people can just, come and talk about Star Trek, because we have a group text now. I couldn't decide if I want to say voice chat or group text, and I kind of merged them both. You get the idea. So anyway, how's the weather?
It's alright. Well, actually, it's far too warm for this time of year.
Too warm? What's the deal?
There's no deal with it. It's just warmer for this time of year. You know, probably climate change and all that.
Let's see. London, UK weather. I assume that's where you are.
Thereabouts.
56 Fahrenheit, it says. 13C.
Yeah. Should be more like 4 or 5 degrees or lower.
Okay. It is currently 7C here, roughly. About 45.
I don't know
So
how many C's it is here.
Do you know how many F's it is?
I have no idea.
How many F's does
Not
it
like-
feel?
It is... Let me switch this to C. -1C.
-1? Okay.
That's 31F.
It's a little chilly.
Yeah, there's snow on the ground, which is really nice. But it is melting, so that's very sad.
Oh, okay. Well, instead of watching Star Trek, you can go and frolic in it or whatever you do in snow. I don't get snow here.
Where do
Some
you
good
live?
episodes here today.
Today's episodes are Dead Stop, which is the first episode, and the episode people should queue up for, Dead Stop. And then A Night in Sickbay, which is all about Porthos, and then there's a bunch of Rick Berman moments thrown in. And Marauders, which is Mulan. Or that episode of The Mandalorian. Or The Magnificent Seven.
Yes.
There's a training montage. It's gonna be
Well,
great.
that episode of Mandalorian was quite specifically based on Magnificent Seven.
But I've never seen Magnificent Seven, therefore it doesn't exist.
Oh, they're both great movies. You should watch them.
Both? What do you mean both?
There's the original and there's the remake.
Okay. 1960 and 2016. Let's see who's... a minute and a half to start, by the way, so everyone queue up. Everyone be ready. Who's in Magnificent Seven? Denzel Washington's in it. Nice. Chris Pratt. The Hulk is in there.
Yes. First one is probably better. Is better than the remake, but the remake is decent.
Do you say that because you watched the original first, or because it's actually better?
They both have their merits. But in terms of just the sort of, it's been a while since I watched either of them, but the original did what it needed to do in the original.
Okay. Or just watch The Mandalorian, season 1, episode 4, I think it is.
Yes,
It's pretty
something
good.
like that.
It's got some aliens. It's got a bunch of lasers. It's got a Baby Yoda.
Yes.
They didn't have a Baby Yoda in the 1960s. But for now, press play in
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
Book of Boba Fett started now.
What?
Book of Boba Fett started on Wednesday.
Oh, yes. I liked it.
Yes.
Have we ever seen that working bee before?
Yeah, they were in the pilot, I think. He scratched the paint with it.
Where is it stored? It's so much cooler than the shuttles.
I don't know. I assume it's just in a closet in the shuttle bay.
I mean, it is pretty small.
Yeah, look at this continuity. They got hit by a mine in the previous episode, and now they have to fix it. Their ship is screwed.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek Voyager. Oh wait.
Yeah, there is some fair ones. Well, first season and second season there's less of it, but there are episodes like this where they're direct continuity. But
I mean,
obviously
there was
season 3 and
there was
4
Year
is
of Hell,
still
but that was only direct continuity because it was a two-parter episode.
Remember when Enterprise had a series of episodes in which they wanted to go to Risa, but they couldn't?
Yes.
Yes.
That was at the end of season 1, right? That was actually pretty
Yeah.
funny. They should have kept it up. They should have like.
And then when they
went
eventually
into
go
the
to Risa,
ground.
everything goes wrong.
Yeah, the Risa episode was not worth
Apart from
the
Hoshi.
build up.
I think this is the
No.
first time we've ever seen a hero ship send out a distress call. Is that true?
I'd
I'm
be
sure the
surprised.
Enterprise
There's been a
D
lot
did
of
it at
Star
some
Trek.
point.
Did Voyager send out a distress call when its warp core was stolen?
I don't think so. But I don't really remember.
Pretty sure Voyager has set off a distress call,
Okay.
at the very least.
I mean, I'm just thinking, like, who would they send a distress call to? Everybody there hates
Anyone.
them. Just gonna get the Kazon to show up. So yeah, Roxanne Dawson directed this episode, Belana Torres, and she also voices a primary character.
Primary character.
Computers can be characters too.
Discovery has been doing that recently.
Yes. They're really trying to tie into
It's
that
just
short
like in
trick.
TNG when there was a computer that was a main character. And
Oh, yeah.
Voyager, they also had a computer as a main character.
That's true. They're very good computers.
I do like the computer voice and the personality of the computer in it.
Which computer? Belana computer? Brent Spiner computer? Old bald man computer? Oh, this
So,
line from
in
Phlox.
Discovery.
This is one of my favorite Phlox lines. There we go. It's unethical to harm a
That is a
patient. I can
really-
inflict as much pain as I like. As long as the pain helps, he can do whatever he wants, man.
Yeah. This is awful.
Why is it awful?
Or no. This streaming service from CBS is awful. I tried to turn on subtitles, and it pauses when you open up
Well-
the subtitles. Yeah.
There is. Wait, why did it disappear? There we go. If you need a timestamp, you can see what I'm streaming on Discord for that.
Thank you.
This is the last day, by the way, that any Star Trek show is available on Prime Video.
Yeah, they're really stripping it.
It's very unfortunate. But it just means I'm going to be using the discs for these watch-alongs starting tomorrow.
Really?
Makes things easier for me. Because I've already, like, ripped all the files off the disc onto my hard drive. So I just have MP4s.
That's cool. So they have um
First meeting of the,
Right.
first knowledge of the Tellarites for the humans.
One of the founding members of the Federation, who are going to go on
Yes,
to murder someone on the ship. So that's
and
cool.
we find some issues with or between them and the Andorians,
Yep.
because the Andorians can't get along with anyone apparently.
And a Telluride episode gives us a really great cold open with Hoshi just talking smack at Archer for a couple minutes.
Yeah, that's okay.
I do like
Though
this
she
repair
does
station.
insult Porthos, and that's very rude.
Well, Porthos doesn't understand.
It doesn't matter if he understands the words. You still can't say that to him. How convenient that this thing was located so nearby.
Yeah.
200.
They
Oh,
told where it was.
so that's 3 Kelvin. Previously, like in TNG, whenever they tried to quote very low temperatures, they didn't really know how absolute zero worked, so they quoted temperatures below absolute zero. It's like, oh, it's minus 290 Celsius. It's like, no, it's not. It's quite a feat for a planet surface to have a negative temperature. It's a little picky.
I do like the automated repair station. It is a nice construction.
It's offering you help, Archie. You don't have to berate it. It's even got pan-fried catfish.
Yes.
Do you watch these in
More
advance?
well, I assume that this would be CGI. More CGI.
We watched this on
budget used
Halloween. What would be CGI?
The station expanding to encompass the Enterprise.
Totally was. Kind of reminds me of one of those, I don't know what you call it. It's like a ball that's made of a bunch of sticks and it can shrink inward and it gets all spiky, or you pull it out, turns into a
I
ball.
have one of those. In fact, I have one of those behind me.
Cool. Alright, Balana. I just noticed T'Pol's in heels for some reason.
You'll never be able to unsee it.
Thanks, Rick Berman.
They're pretty awful heels. They just look really ugly.
But even Janeway wears heels. All the women wear heels.
Does
in
she?
Star Trek. She does.
She's so short even with them.
Don't hate on Kate.
Like, have you ever noticed how short Captain Janeway is? It's very funny.
I can't say I have.
Back up to the first episode.
And she's in heels?
Yeah. I mean, they're not that big of heels. They're not like stilettos, but... Let me Google. How tall is Kate Mulgrew? 5'5". She's not that short.
And I guess her co-actors are pretty tall.
Yeah, they hired bloody 6'7" Jerry Ryan.
That probably explains it. Is she actually 6'7"?
No, I just made that up. I mean, maybe. She's quite tall. How tall is Jerry Ryan? 5'8".
She's even taller, or 5'8".
5'8", yes. Though she, of course, also wears space heels.
Yeah, she has very egregious space heels. Thanks for ruining Captain Janeway for me.
Do you hear it now?
It's a very basic computer.
Three warp coils, some injectors, or some warp plasma. Do they have spare warp coils? I don't think they do.
One would assume they would have spare warp cores with them.
Well,
This
there's
is
that bit
analysis
in
of
the
their
Expanse
ship.
where it blows up and they don't have one.
But
They have to steal
that
someone
seems to be a
else's.
bit of missed continuity unless they've just used them, because this is an analysis of their ship that it has that on them. Unless I suppose it's saying, hey, just give us some of those warp cores you need to run your
If
ship.
they're just like disabling a nacelle to transfer all the warp coils out of it.
But no, I'd assume because Tucker said that you can't, that you shouldn't give up something which we can't replace.
Yeah.
They have them spare.
Verify pressure of integrity of... Tried to get the list. See if there's any Easter eggs in there. Right, get ready to print screen. It's not in focus.
Is this a interesting Okudagram?
Might be. Some kind of mechanical arms.
Yeah, she said some kind of.
I just
wonder
noticed
who
that
comes
Archer
and
stores
picks
his
up the
communicator
compensation.
in his arm pocket.
Yeah. Well, they do have tons of pockets everywhere to store everything.
They do. It just feels weird having a... I don't think I've ever owned a piece of clothing with a pocket on the arm. T'Pol doesn't have any, though.
Well, has an external pocket.
She's got her holster for her scanner. Does it magnetize to her hip? What's the deal?
It's on her belt. Her belt's just the same color as her
Yeah.
outfit.
Okay. Does it have Velcro? Is
Probably.
it attached?
T'Pol's outfit's really weird. Like
The
the
way she asks the
colors.
most basic thing as well. Yeah.
Yep, that's water, all right.
Maybe she should have scanned it before drinking instead of
Just the most
smelling it.
Yeah.
Nah.
And just the most basic thing.
It would not be logical for this station to poison T'Pol.
Yes. No, sorry.
At
we
least
never
not
really
yet.
got to show warp personnel.
Digestive fluids.
Yeah, our compensation is actually we take the life of one of your people and we experiment on them.
They're not experimenting, they're using his brain power. They know exactly what they're doing. No experimenting required. A pan-fried catfish? How much warp plasma do you have to give up for a catfish? Like, could you show up and just ask for, like, 500 pan-fried catfish and give up a liter of plasma?
Well, plasma.
I think probably not, because it's a repair station rather than the recreational facility.
Well, I mean, does it care?
I think it might. Does it stand to check for that there was damage?
And T'Pol replicated me.
Jeez, the amount that's spent on the CGI for this episode.
It's an exocomp. It's totally
Yes,
an
it is.
exocomp.
Yeah.
Just sitting on its
That's
back.
100% an exocomp.
Well, they got the prop for it. I think they painted it, though.
Yeah, it's not the right colors. I'm pretty sure it's an exocomp.
It is. It is
CBS
for
All
sure.
Access has decided to partial access me unfortunately.
Did you get an ad?
No. It's cool though. I fixed the issue.
Okay. No, this station's got better tech than, like, TNG Federation.
Yeah. I wonder if you could use it as a medical facility in that fashion, though. No damage to the ship, just wanting to use it as a medical facility.
Damage to ship, damage to people, it's all the same.
I watched a horrible movie about that.
What? Did it have William
A
Shatner in
movie
it?
about a movie about a gremlin on a plane.
Did it
It
star
was really
William Shatner?
frustrating as no, it had no William Shatner in it.
Oh.
What was frustrating as it was almost a good movie. But
Well,
in order for it to be a good movie,
what happened in it?
they would have had to. They're like on an airplane, and there's a monster on the airplane. It's like a bomber airplane from World War II, and they're flying, and there's a gremlin on it, like a real gremlin. And unfortunately, that's the bad part of the movie. I thought most of it was okay, except for the gremlin.
Okay.
So, like, the concept of the movie is the bad thing about it.
That sounds like it would be very cheap to make, because you only need the one set.
Yeah, I was really impressed with how much they got out of this set. It was really cool.
If you're using the facilities, the plus.
What do they have? They have... Is that a big cube of tofu? What was that? Someone had a cake? Baked potato? And a steak? I think?
So why did the station eviscerate an exocomp?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like the exocomp was like opened up.
Well, you gotta get the medical bits in. Need an opening.
Is this still Star Trek thinking that computers need to be gigantic? I suppose our quantum computers are gigantic and supercomputers are really large.
I don't know. Do we ever see Enterprise's computer core in this
Well, you
show?
just said it's 3 decks high.
Oh, then yeah.
The ship itself's only like 3 decks high.
Well, it's not.
And look,
as
we can see the decks out the window there.
huge.
There's only a couple of them.
I think supercomputers are still pretty big.
I mean, sure, but they're always getting smaller. They used to, like, the
Yeah, but if you
computer
make
I
the
have here
components
would have
smaller,
fit
you
in
can
like
always
an
make a bigger
entire
one, right?
building.
Yes.
It'd be like an office building to have this much computing power.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm using it to watch Star Trek.
Yeah, you could have an even bigger computer if you made a computer with the technology for your small computer, but the size of 3 decks.
Think of how fast I could pump out those horrifying deepfakes with a computer 3 decks high.
Yeah, I'm
Be
sure
done
you do some pretty
instantly.
impressive stuff.
Oh, yes.
There's at least 5 decks on Enterprise? Doesn't look... Well, I guess there's that bit that goes down in the middle.
It's A through E, right? I think E deck is their lowest. So I'd make it 5.
I don't really understand why they're doing this. I mean, I get it
Because
because
it's Star
they're-
Trek Enterprise.
This is just wildly unprofessional behavior on their part.
Yeah, this is just a Star Trek Enterprise moment.
Whoa.
You can't explain it. It's just how this show is.
That was just one-handed lifted Reed from the floor.
He's strong, man.
Yeah, he has a lot of muscles.
I wonder if it rebuilt their shuttle pods as well.
I didn't
Sure,
think
that they're
this.
playing. Oh, you're supposed to have two.
What
No, I was
could
about to say I
possibly
don't think
go
the ship's
wrong?
comm is Wi-Fi enabled, but I guess it doesn't have to be because the repair station is in the ship.
I don't know. I'd be pretty scared being on a computer-controlled space station already from like an alien computer. So I definitely wouldn't want to go into areas that they don't even want
It's
me in.
okay. The Starfleet officers have no sense of self-preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fair. They do not.
They just do whatever strikes their fancy. It's fine. Yes, foolishly
We got
going
the
where no
shuttle pod
man
for
has
this.
gone before.
It's just following orders.
Travis, just leave. Quit staring at it and leave. Rue?
Damn.
Oh
Got
yeah,
him.
that is weird for Reed specifically to do that. His whole thing is protocol.
Yeah.
This is character development.
Tucker is a bad influence on him.
Yes.
I don't think we're ever going to get an answer to that question.
Oof. That's the punishment for the two of them going in.
Well, yeah, we can see that, but what happened, though? I don't know, he might be okay. Do you suppose anybody watching this for the first time believed he was actually permanently dead?
I don't know. Probably. At least like the younger viewers. And it's not like Star Trek is a show that's killed main characters without any fanfare before, like Tasha Yar and that goo monster.
Yes, Tasha Yar and the
Armus.
Goo Monster.
Mm.
His name is
Or
Armus.
Jadzia. And the
Oh yeah, she
space
also got
Hitler.
yeeted. So she was killed by a main character,
Yes,
or a main
demonically
villain,
possessed space Hitler.
but it completely random and for no reason.
Hmm.
So it wouldn't be unbelievable.
Okay,
And it's not like
I can see it.
like Mayweather is like the most nobody character. Like he's like Owo in Discovery.
Yeah.
Detmer. Like he's kind of there. Well, he has more character than Owo Detmer. He had that one episode where you go to the boomer ship. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, the computer doesn't care, Archer. It's just a computer. It's not even a data.
it's just a assistant. Like an
I
old,
swear I've
like
seen this pop
original
before.
version Google.
Like the tube
Probably.
one.
Yeah, when we watched it on Halloween, someone else said they recognized it. I don't know if we
Looks
ever
really
established where it was
familiar.
from, though.
Is this like a Halloween episode? Is there some reason?
Someone
Why
wanted to
y'all
watch it
watch
because
this
of the
Halloween?
body horror at the very end,
Hmm.
where they're like hooked up to all
There's
the
a
wires
little
and
bit.
stuff. It does look familiar, but I really don't know where it's from.
Was that a monitor POV?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what the computer sees. It just has eyes behind the screen. What about that episode where Riker is accused of murder and there's
Oh
the
no.
scientist lab? Is it from that?
Oh no. Ugh. I don't
What?
think so.
What's with the oh no?
I hate that episode. Oh, episode's terrible.
It's such a good episode other than the part where nobody's questioning the fact that Riker might have assaulted a woman.
Well, both of them were apparently telling the truth, according to Troy.
Yeah,
Probably Troy's most useless moment there.
ignore the likely assault that nobody questioned and he got away with, and it's a good episode.
Yeah, I'm just going to ignore the episode.
Oh, the computer prop was from Think Tank? Is that might be right.
Oh.
Voyager, Think Tank.
Think Tank is a good episode.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that prop on Google Images.
Don't worry about it.
I'm worrying about it. A gelatinous life form. Moffat? Meffet? Maffet? What is it?
Hey, me neither. Why don't we get to see that?
They couldn't afford gelatin. They have to just talk about it. Isolytic shock? Could you make an isolytic weapon, perhaps?
Oh, that is a connection, huh?
It is a connection. Did it tear holes in his subspace?
What's that? Oh, is that the Friendship 1 probe from Voyager?
Maybe.
It looks familiar.
It's some kind of space probe.
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't look like a real one, is the thing. Maybe Google the Friendship 1 probe.
What does Reed have on his wall? He's got a drawing of the shuttle. He's got some
It looks
schedules.
kind of like it. But no.
Could it be from the Enterprise intro sequence?
I don't think there's like a probe there. Oh, that's really cool. The Friendship 1 probe has like Enterprise style warp nacelles. Let me post this.
Oh, also it says like United Earth Space Agency or something on it,
USPA?
which was which was like mentioned
TOS.
once casually in TOS.
Yeah, they claim to be from the United Earth Space Probe Agency in
Which
an
is
early episode of TOS.
terrible name, but they mention it once and now it's canon.
But yeah, check out the probe. It has the Enterprise style warp nacelles before
It
Enterprise.
does. Let me go ahead and put that on the stream so everyone else can see it. Look at that. It has cylinders.
Whoa.
Those are some good cylinders. Tessic. Why do I recognize Tessic? Have we been there?
I don't know.
Or maybe there was a character named Tessic.
A lot of the planets in Enterprise are from TNG and such. Like throwaway planet names.
Don't see anything about it on Memory Alpha.
Hmm.
It must be a character name. Maybe the character... Look, I'm going to try to find out who Tessic is. Somebody's named Tessic. Or maybe it's Tepic. I don't know.
Scrub Lord, you're incorrect. Trip is not a complete gentleman. He's a perfect gentleman. So
Of course. He's been nothing but a perfect gentleman, Captain.
He says that like 3 times.
I can find out exactly how many times. Hang on, let's see when he says...
Do you like have the script saved somewhere?
Yeah, that's how I do compilation
Oh.
videos.
Yeah.
I don't just like watch the series every time.
Duh.
Regular expression. Search for all the times Tucker said gentleman. Hang on. Scrub Lord was correct.
Oh, he
One
was?
time he says complete
Damn.
gentleman. 2 times he says perfect gentleman.
Okay, so I'm more correct. That's what I'm getting.
Yes, technically more correct.
Is there an apostrophe in plasma there?
Plasma? Oh, there is.
What the hell?
Don't worry about it. Maybe it's just
gone
a
now.
bit of, like, dirt. It's Vulcan plasma. They love their apostrophes. Oh, power down in secondary. No, I lost it.
And the chapter decides to do himself.
That didn't work the first time, Archer.
No, they seem to love it.
Wait,
Is the
they're trying to
computer really going to be
distract the
sufficiently
computer?
distracted by this? Yeah, how's that going to work? I don't think you're using that expression right, Tucker, but that's okay. Nobody does.
Yes.
How does this
Trip
work?
wants to speak to the manager, and the computer runs 1 thread at a time.
How is this computer able to repair all of Enterprise in record time, but it can't tell someone's in its computer core?
This is Star Trek Enterprise.
It's got sensors which they're about to disable.
Okay, so now it should immediately transport. It does.
Why does it even have sensor blind spots?
Why
That's
is
so
the
stupid. Why would they design it with
engineered-
sensor blind spots?
Why is it the more immediate, more engineering-based person who's the person who's going to get transported off?
Warp Plaza apostrophe they zoomed in on it. Klingon plasma. The other container, though, the one in the back, just said warp plasma. It didn't have the apostrophe.
I think the person who made that prop just like slipped with their paintbrush. It's probably not supposed to be an apostrophe.
I just can't imagine why they wouldn't like put that one in the back and hide it.
It's more realistic that way.
Yeah. It's an in-universe mistake.
Oh, it's so dirty back here.
Well, think anyone's on cleaning it?
I was more wondering, has anyone been tracking in dirt? Like, how
Wonder if
does it
that's a
get
warp
dirty? We're
core.
in space. It's a hermetically sealed space station.
Indeed.
I think that's a Cretassin on the right. There's a Klingon at the top. Top right.
Nerd.
It's another Klingon. I think that's a Paradin at the back. I recognize that.
How many foreheads to choose from?
Oh, that person on the left with the boils on their temple. I recognize that species, but I don't know what they're called.
Hmm.
There is already computer. Destroy the Enterprise.
Yeah,
It's
how
a
many
pretty
warnings
bad
are you gonna give?
weakness.
Just
If
kill
the
them.
computer needs people to... That is a little gross.
All right, compromise the vessel.
I'm going to
Yes, do the
grab
Packlet
you.
thing where you rip it
Ah.
apart.
I saw this great image of T'Pol superimposed on the Enterprise. It says to polarize the whole plating.
Okay.
It
Sure.
was very funny to me.
I could make a video of that.
That would be a very bad one.
I don't care.
You could probably cut it together pretty easy. You can get them to say to Paul and polarize, and they could
Yeah,
be
just
pretty
like
easy to cut together.
find them say the word "to" somewhere, and just splice it in. I'd probably have to have big subtitles though.
Apologize.
I would not apologize for that. No.
Apology.
Come on, gun. Gun before you run
They've
out of
been
power.
grabbed.
They've been
Loud
grabbed very
station.
forcefully. Oh, they're gonna decimate the plasma.
So those are the normal warp plasmas.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the faulty Klingon plasma that's so explosive.
Well, we're gonna get Klingons very soon.
The Klingons want something, right? Dilithium, I think.
They won't do deuterium.
Hmm.
Right, these
Which-
3,000 degrees.
I don't know how.
800. Interesting.
I primarily
know
remember it's
deuterium came
deuterium
from
because it's not.
planets.
Yeah, it's not really how deuterium works. You don't really mine deuterium.
Don't they get it from the ram scoops?
Yeah, that's one thing it does, yeah. But deuterium's just a gas. You don't really mine deuterium.
Yeah, it's a hydrogen with like one electron, or one too little or too many. I don't know.
It has an extra neutron.
An extra neutron. Heavy.
It's heavy hydrogen, yeah. I think that's right.
I don't know. I'm not a science nerd.
You're watching Star Trek.
That doesn't make you a science nerd. The show is very cavalier
Use the
about
phaser.
science.
But they don't have phasers.
Phase cannon.
If these cannons, this is
They're
Enterprise,
different.
folks. It's not Star Trek. It's not Star Trek until season 3. It's just
Technically.
Enterprise. Plain, simple Enterprise.
Hey, it says Star Trek Enterprise on Amazon.
It doesn't. Does now say Star Trek Enterprise. Yes.
On
It
Amazon. It
doesn't say
doesn't
that until
say it in
season
the
3.
show.
Well, that's just they renamed the show. If it got canceled now, it would just be
Yeah.
Enterprise.
Yes.
Enterprise.
That was such a stupid decision
What was? To rename or?
to name it Enterprise. No, it's Star Trek.
Did you know that in the Star Trek novels, because they're absolutely nuts, it's like a moment where we learn that the phase pistols and the phase whatever's the phase rifles, they're identical to phasers, and phaser is just like a nickname for them because the novels are very strange.
So, how do you feel about The Mandalorian?
The
It's a weird ship.
Mandalorian first season was
Do you
really
not like the
solid.
fact that it's not called Star Wars, The Mandalorian?
It's an interesting change, but it hasn't affected
It's sad
the
that he's not a
watch rating
Lurian.
of it.
Wait,
It hasn't affected the watch rating of it. But it's calling this Enterprise and not Star Trek Enterprise dramatically affected its watch rating.
I don't care whether it's called Enterprise or Star Trek Enterprise. That superficial stuff doesn't really matter to me.
Hmm.
Like that's not even
I
in
mean,
the
it
show.
doesn't
That's
matter to me
like
personally. It's
meta
just
outside of
it
the
meant that
show.
they had less viewership.
Oh, it's fixing itself. It's gonna come
Yeah,
back
never
as an
see her again.
antagonist in a future episode.
Or not.
The repair station is back, and it wants revenge. That could have been the Enterprise movie. This could have been their con. Star Trek has been desperately chasing Wrath of Khan since Wrath of Khan.
Okay. Here's a hot take. I didn't even really like Wrath of Khan that much. I thought it was
agree with
okay.
I agree with you. It's not that good.
Alright, but the next episode is that good. It's A Night in Sickbay.
Well, it's
A Night in Sickbay?
one of the more fun episodes.
So I missed last time, but things happen.
1 minute to that. Everyone queue up. A Night in Sickbay. It's all about Porthos. And we get the Kretas and Vaughn Armstrong back. Briefly.
It's good to see Vaughn Armstrong playing a million characters.
It is. I think he has the most roles of any guest star.
I think so.
I think he
yeah.
has more than
Other
Jeffrey.
than Matt Painting, of course.
Other than Matt Painting.
Matt Painting is truly the greatest actor in all of Star Trek. It's a real shame he got snubbed in Enterprise.
His acting skills aren't really that good though, because he sticks out like a sore thumb.
He's played so many characters.
It's so obvious though. Alright, everybody press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. It's interesting music. Oh, good. Start us up strong, Rick. Rick, what are you doing?
Angry massage rant. I love it. Like this episode starts out strong.
You know, Archer is even less dressed than the women in here. Like, Hoshi and T'Pol have shirts. They're not just in bras, they actually have shirts. Archer's just in his briefs. Porthos, though, is completely naked. I mean, have some self-respect, Porthos. How come Porthos never gets a uniform?
I've seen a cute drawing. Like I'm not one for dogs, but Porthos is pretty cute. I saw a drawing of him in uniform. It was very cute.
I need that because I've been thinking of commissioning a drawing of that.
Well, no need. It already exists. I'll find it for you.
Okay. But
we
no
should've been
cheese
hit
rule. You
the
give him cheese all
barrel.
the time. Don't leave him. But yeah, this is new Porthos. We have already replaced the Porthos actor. It's a different dog.
There's a really funny looking Porthos puppet in this
Aw.
episode.
Where he sits.
Yeah. She, I guess now, because they replaced the male dog with a female dog.
Wait, really?
So they could,
actually
yeah, so they
replaced
could show
Porthos?
the belly on screen without showing the other stuff.
I see.
Who really cares about seeing the other stuff? Is
The
it dog?
producers, I guess.
It all the time.
I can't believe they've recast Porthos.
They did.
There's
Now
nobody talking
Porthos-
about this. How do I not know
Porthos
this?
is played by a lady dog now.
Damn. Enterprise is now more than 1/3 female or whatever they keep bragging about.
It's so
They
woke. They're
love
having
it.
women play male characters now.
It's insane.
Not my Porthos. Nobody can tell. It's just a beagle.
I never noticed.
Also, I think crewman Cutler is gone.
Yeah.
The one that had the weird, like, romance arc with Phlox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lost crewman Cutler and we lost Porthos 1.
Oh, you're right on time, Robocarps. Are you
Are you ready for a night in sickbay?
Timestamp.
a
Here, if you
Wild
look
ride
in
on my
Discord,
phone?
here is the timestamp at the bottom left.
I'm looking, I'm waiting for it to sync up so I can click. About 10 seconds.
Okay.
Hey, Ruby.
Cabbage,
You
what is
said
he
it.
implying that Archer did?
Okay. I got it, I think.
Okay.
Hey everybody.
Hi.
Yeah.
oops, hi.
Thought I'd come in for a
Welcome to
very
hell.
special episode.
So, Mr. Favorite and Mr. Corpse, are both of you aware? I mean, at least one of you should be. We talked about it before. That Porthos is now a different actor. Dog?
Oh, did the
Isn't it a
original
girl- it's a girl
Porthos
actor
demand,
now?
like
Yes.
a higher
They didn't
salary?
want-
and
they-
he's-
They didn't want to show the Red Rocket in HD.
he
so
got
they
Terrence
Red Dog.
Howarded.
Affecting him, but that's a girl dog.
Yeah.
Does
That's no way to
Porthos-
talk to a lady, Phlox.
Does Porthos have like his own version of this new Porthos? Or sorry, did the old Porthos have like his own way of doing math?
Myth?
What?
Where 1 + 1 = 1?
Huh?
I feel like you're
Like-
referencing something, but I don't know what.
Yeah, it's what Terrence
Why
Howard
why did he have to bring his dog to this diplomatic?
he's a good boy.
Function?
Because it's
No, no.
Enterprise.
People love dogs.
But
Like
not
I'm
the
just
Circassians,
saying,
apparently.
like if you had like a cool dog at like the Yalta conference, boom, no more Cold War.
Why didn't you read a book on what offends them or something?
like
There is no book. They just met.
stop.
This
like,
is their
like,
second time meeting. He could have
Archer's the-
requested a book.
like
These are the only
Stalin
people that have talked to them in person, and they hated each
What's-
other at the end.
would see like a golden retriever, and he'd be like, "Oh, who's a good boy?"
Frankly, I think that Janeway should have brought Molly on the ship.
No.
Yes.
No.
Why no?
Because we would have gotten a
Aw.
night in sickbay with Captain Janeway. Can you believe that? That'd have been horrible.
We can't have a night in sickbay with Janeway. They don't even have a decon chamber. But we would have had an Irish setter on the show. It would have been
I
great.
thought Molly was the golden retriever. This is the level of fake fan that I operate on.
How dare you? Star Trek. I can't just Google Molly, because that'll give me a child.
Putin.
I don't care about that, Molly.
I like how
Yeah, Irish
I
Setter.
like how when there's pictures of Putin with his dog, he usually is just like going nuts about the dog. But I do like the one picture where he just like looks at the dog somewhat seemingly like disapprovingly.
I feel like Janeway has an Irish Setter
How
because
dare
she's
you
talked about being
apologize for
Irish in
me,
some way
Paul?
before.
I'm Captain Archer. I yell at things. Ah.
I'm a human male and you're a Vulcan woman. I'm meant to have all the emotions.
Alvira, is that just aloe vera, but alien?
Maybe.
God,
Are
that
there any
old style LCD. It's so chunky.
Yeah, it's like a square. I kind of like it though, honestly. I really like the set design for Enterprise.
The
Enterprise is
I
being
dare say,
filmed
like,
in 16:9, but Archer's screen is still 4:3. What's up with that?
I
Well,
dare
you
say that
see-
like
they need to keep the monitor small because that radiation shielding, which is what makes it all bulky, is very expensive.
I dare
see.
say that actually like the set and costume and like visual design for Enterprise is the best part of the whole show.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it has a very strong visual design for most things. The sets are very good.
Yeah. Like I feel like Star Trek set design only got better.
And then the
then you
JJ
sort-
set design isn't terrible.
Yeah,
You
it
can see
has
it.
its own aesthetic, but a lot of it, like if you turn down the lens flares and look at it, might not seem particularly practical.
I don't really like the exterior shots in Enterprise or in JJ. Oh yes,
There are
we
no
get the
dogs on my
dogs.
homeworld, Archer.
I have a
Dogs
question.
are only from Earth. You idiot.
Oh, this is
They're not
This is
only
where they
from
got the
Earth. What are you
idea.
talking about? We've met loads of dogs from different
Remember there's
planets.
that unicorn dog from TOS?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
In
and
the
there was
episode where
there was
Kirk
a
is
dog
evil?
from Voyager that didn't even have an outfit. It was just a dog.
And the Klingon
I don't remember
Targ.
that. Aren't targs more like pigs than dogs?
Yeah, they're
maybe.
yeah.
Or aren't they usually played by pigs?
Yes. Well, except in Enterprise where it was CGI. Don't worry about it.
They made the targs CGI.
I seem to remember a
so
CGI
his-
Targ somewhere. Also, I think
his-
Porthos is currently a prop. I don't think that's a dog.
His
Yeah, they switched him out for
yeah,
Pop
it's a prop.
at some point.
How did Porthos get sick, and what's he sick with?
We don't
He's
know.
sick
Sit
with
for a pathogen on a
planets.
planet.
He went to a bad planet.
He went to
So
the Cretaceous
ultimately-
offensive people place.
Mhm.
Ultimately, Phlox uses some lizard,
Yeah, we
right?
got
And
dog
he puts like the dog's DNA in it, and it
Yes.
creates like a mimic of the dog's pituitary gland and transplants it into the dog, right? It kind of reminds me of that episode where they make a clone of Trip so they
Yeah,
can
that's the
harvest part
fake
of his brain.
Porthos.
It's
You can
like
tell
it's like
in the
that
fake
episode 1.0.
Porthos pose.
It's like that episode. It's like giving
It's so
Neelix
fake.
holographic lungs.
Something's wrong with the fur.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they couldn't just get the dog. Like, I get why they need a puppet for the submerged scenes, but I don't know why they needed a puppet to have the dog lay down. Like, can
It'd
they
be
never
hard
like
to get
let it
to
fall
get
asleep?
the dog to close its eyes and go to sleep. I assume.
The dog's too excited about being on TV.
It's doing
Yeah.
such a good job. It's having a good time.
It's hard enough keeping a dog laying down when it doesn't want to. When
You
it's
know, I
not on
shouldn't
TV.
complain about puppet Porthos because we could have had CGI Porthos.
CG Porthos.
Digital dog.
Did you know that Scotty is the worst character in Star Trek? Because
Why?
Why?
he transports Porthos in an experiment and loses him.
This is true, but only in the Kelvin timeline.
It might have happened in the Prime timeline. We don't know.
On the Prime timeline, he wasn't exiled for it, at least. So maybe in
So
the
maybe
Prime
it worked.
timeline, he got away with it. Maybe they never were able to
Why?
implicate him.
Why are you showing us this?
Ew,
That's Enterprise.
get out of here, freaking. What's his name?
Does Phlox really live at? No, Phlox has quarters. Why is he here? I guess he has to stay for the
Does he have
dog.
quarters?
Yeah,
Quentin
because he
Tarantino.
goes to
Get out of
hibernate
here.
in them.
I was trying to
Oh.
think of Quentin
Thought he
Tarantino's name, and
hibernated
the
in
first name I
Sickbay.
came up with was J.D. Salinger, who was very different.
How do I
Really
even
is doing the
cut his
best he
toenails,
can.
to be very honest, though?
Why? You can't.
Does
Did
he
he just
feed
feed
his
those animals
toenails to his pet?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes. I don't
Phlox.
know, maybe they're
No.
nutritious and delicious.
I don't care if they're nutritious. It's gross.
Maybe that's what Neelix puts in the food in like food
Is that a
for
CG?
Voyager.
He has a CG tongue.
Yeah. Like Neelix is just like, oh yes, Talaxian toenails are an excellent spice. My mom put them in Leola root soup and souffle.
Leola roots drive me nuts. It's just ginger.
But painted, it's
They
different.
don't even no, they don't even paint it. It's just ginger.
So are like all of the pets in here? What's going on?
Yeah, people get on Archer's case about having a pet, but look how many that Phlox has. He's got a menagerie.
They're not pets. They're like leeches. They're like medical leeches.
He's got a bat. Where did he get a bat?
Yeah, he used the bat's blood for something, I think.
He's like the medic.
Have we
from
not
Team
learned enough
Fortress
about
2.
humans being in close proximity to bats?
Maybe Phlox is like working on some covert bioweapons program, where like.
No, that's a
like,
season 4 episode.
Oh, okay. Like Starfleet has some secret
look, a
directive
spinny
that
thing.
Captain Kirk had to
Yes.
deal with,
Yeah.
where like he was given orders to give as many
Tentacle.
aliens syphilis as possible.
Archer,
And
why are
this
you
episode
taking
is
your
giving
pants
us
off for this? Is that
times.
necessary?
You like running in long
Funny.
pants? I sure don't.
Yeah.
I run in long
Like-
pants.
Why run in long pants
Weird.
when you have a pair of running shorts?
I don't have
directly
running. I have
underneath them?
pants. I don't own shorts.
The episode
Because
is also giving us
You
in
don't
times
own
for everything.
shorts?
Keep the Enterprise
No, I
pretty
don't.
cold.
I don't know.
Why don't
Um,
you have shorts, Ryan?
So
I
he
have
wore
pants.
The
What do I
pants
need
over
shorts
his
for?
gym shorts.
Where do you live? Like Utachuk, Alaska?
It's not my fault. Well, it is.
Why is he
but
so
you know, I
pissy
like
out
pants.
to Paul? Like, what did she do to deserve this? I guess
He's
nothing.
current.
Shorts,
I guess that
Ryan.
is
They're
the point of the
comfortable and
episode.
easy to wear.
Yeah, jeans are comfy and easy to wear. What's the issue?
It's just hard to make Archer likable when he takes out his shit onto Paul for some reason.
He's taking it out onto Paul because he is currently frustrated, shall we say?
He's frustrated because of. Is he frustrated because of horny or because of dog? I'm confused.
Both.
Well, A is leading to B, I think, is the implication here.
He
So,
didn't
wait.
enjoy his trip to Risa.
Wait, does that mean like Archer's repressed sexuality is making his dog sick, or is his dog being sick makes
No,
him
his dog
horny?
is 6. Yeah. So why do you bring him on a spaceship?
Is Porthos an inside dog or an outside dog? Because on
Well,
the
he
one
lives
hand,
on a
he like
spaceship.
stays he stays
like,
inside, but on the other hand, like space is the ultimate outside.
Earth
have
is
you ever
in
noticed
space.
that T'Pol is a freakishly weak Vulcan?
No, what?
Like she is constantly overpowered by humans throughout the show. It's very cringe.
Is she? I don't remember that.
Yeah. I remember a few occasions of that on my last rewatch.
Okay. I know in the next episode she beats up some Klingons.
Yeah, she does get to beat up Klingons in the next episode.
The Klingons or Vulcans have pets. Why is T'Pol being so superior here? Spock had like a little
Because he's being a jerk to her.
thing.
So she's being a jerk back. Because these are like
suppose.
all characters.
Like,
Also, Tass isn't canon.
I suppose, but like
should-
I feel like in like TNG and DS9 and the original series, like those are when like the characters have chemistry, and in Voyager they have like no chemistry, and in
Wait,
Enterprise
did
they
you
have like
say the
opposite
TOS characters
chemistry.
have chemistry?
Yeah, they have their moments.
I don't
I hate
necessarily
each other.
disagree, but I would like to point out that like half of that chemistry is just them being racist to each other.
That is true.
Christmas?
What's the closest thing Star Trek has to a holiday episode?
There's
it
a
the episode?
Halloween episode in TOS.
Well, no, like a December Halloween episode.
The disaster. Captain Picard Day.
It's the
we have a
episode where
Christmas
Sulu
episode.
gets stuck on the planet with the
But it's always
Mikado.
Christmas in the Nexus.
Oh yeah, there we go. There it
1:32
is.
a.m.
There's a TOS episode that briefly flashbacks to a Christmas party.
I don't remember that.
In fact, actually, I don't know if they flash back to the party. They flash back to Archer carrying a woman to his quarters from the Christmas party.
Very seen snapshot of
Did I say Archer?
SpongeBob
Kirk.
at the Christmas party.
Nurse Archer. Paging Nurse Archer.
Come on, we can save the dog. If they killed this dog, the show would be canceled 2 seasons earlier.
And if they got a second dog,
Well, they already got a second
Well,
dog. They'd have to go a third dog.
I'd do anything to save my beagle. Anything?
My beagle, my
Beagle's
boy.
everything.
what if what if
So he
what if
says.
what if some aliens show up and they're like, Archer, we have the cure to your dog, but you must sabotage the treaty conference.
I'd
He'd
do it.
definitely do it.
Screw the Tellarites. I want the dog.
So when I was a kid, I would like I got a paperback novel of like public like there was a contest for non-canonical like Star Trek fiction that people could like submit to, and then the winners would get published in this book.
Angry
And-
drinking water.
And in one of those books, in one of the books, there was a story about Archer swapping bodies with his dog, and I just thought that was a real Enterprise episode because that sounds like the exact thing Enterprise would do.
Ten light years isn't that much when it comes to the travel of the Enterprise.
It's like 2 star systems.
Uh,
Maybe 3. God,
Hey,
Fox.
Dr. Culver.
I like how
Have you ever just been so angry that you're yelling at someone and then you just need to like take a drink of water and continue yelling and then finish the water and then yell some more?
I'm angry at you,
I've
but
never seen someone
my hatred
angrily
for you
drink
is
water
only
before.
eclipsed by my love for hydration.
Hydration's important.
I like how
Great.
It's Vaughn. Hey, Vaughn. What's up, man? It's been so long.
hey, this isn't too bad makeup for Star Trek. This is like advanced forehead ridges. Like
Yeah.
stage 3 forehead
He
ridges.
kind of looks like... He looks like if you just like removed the skin, you can just see the musculature underneath.
He looks like a bootleg Cardassian.
He does
What are
have a
these
blue
guys-
forehead.
What are these guys called again?
Cretassins.
Yeah, see, yeah,
They're
exactly.
called Vaughn.
It's it's the Cretaceans who are who oftentimes fight the planet's confederation and eventually join the Domino Gang in their
What are you
quest
talking
for to conquer the Zeta Quadrant.
Where? Okay, 2 questions. 1, what? 2, where'd he get that paper? Why does he
Why
have
is it
He
just
just-
a
construction paper?
Isn't
And one thing which we've forgotten here is that Phlox doesn't actually need to sleep
is
during
is
during the night. He stays up and then he has like 4 days.
does
sleep a year.
Phlox do like origami?
Yes, clearly he does.
Like,
Look, he can even
was
animate
that
his
a
origami.
pre-established character trait?
No, this is new.
I like to imagine like he's like, computer, give me instructions for folding a origami bat. And they're like, all right, step 1.
That's not an origami bat. That's an origami Pyrithian moonhawk.
Oh no, that's the caretaker's remains. And you just spill them all over the place.
Why do I remember it's a Pyrithian moonhawk?
You're a nerd.
I don't even want. I've seen this episode like twice.
Fox is such a Mary Sue. He knows both origami and bird calls. That's crazy.
And he's also a
Jesus.
therapist.
He
Is
tested
that
him as
poisonous? Here,
but-
let me test it to find out.
Yeah.
No flux.
He's angry now. I'm going to.
What you looking
Who
at?
will Archer yell at next?
Hoshi's gonna walk in a bit, so maybe her.
One day, Archer. At the climax of the episode is Archer's gonna yell at his dog for getting sick, and then he'll realize just how far
He
he's
would never.
fallen.
Don't even say something like that. He would never yell at Porthos.
How do you jump to that conclusion? How is that even sane? Like, he's literally nuts.
Well, he does have a degree in psychology.
Yeah, that's still insane.
I think Rick Berman was writing this episode.
I think Flox's civilization ever like they had like Sigmund Freud, and then their like understanding of psychology just didn't develop any more beyond that.
I mean, by the end of the episode, Archer admits that he's kind of right. That like,
Yes, but that doesn't mean that this isn't insane to assume.
Yeah, and it also doesn't mean that Archer is maybe not acting like a normal human person should.
Yeah, honestly, since this is Star Trek, I wouldn't be surprised if he was.
Okay, so Phlox yelled at Hoshi.
Well, they're gonna kill it, right?
No, they're just capturing it at the end.
I thought that they
The
needed
way
a piece
Hoshi
of its
just grabs
brain.
it out of the air.
Mm.
They're
No.
not gonna kill the bats.
so this episode's really funny because Archer is like rude to these aliens, even though it's their fault. But you know, he's a very cowboy, like kind of diplomacy, like it's a Western kind of thing again. It's definitely not Jean-Luc Picard. Because he threatens to like pee on their tree and stuff.
Well, he just tells that to DePaul when he's shouting at her for like one of many
Yeah.
times in this episode.
Like, I can't see Jean-Luc Picard peeing on a tree on an alien planet.
Shit,
Yeah,
that
We're talking
episode
about Archer
where
or about the dog?
It's a dog cemetery.
I bet
Goldie,
in the
who's
episode
Goldie?
where what you call it, Crusher and Picard are connected with that implant on that planet. He probably peed near or on a tree a couple times there.
Yeah,
Oh, I
never
love
showed-
Just
how-
not having a umbrella.
I love the matte painting in the background.
Damn,
I like
good
how
thing he
Archer
made it
doesn't have an
apparent.
umbrella to emphasize his sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
DePaul's
no.
giving him an umbrella.
This is awful.
Rick Berman, what are you doing?
Rick Berman. Rick Berman. The ghost of Rick Berman.
Can we please like freeze Rick Berman and carbonite or something?
No. I mean, if we did that, then we wouldn't get any
And
more
we're back
things
to
like
decon.
this.
Let me check who the actual writer for this episode is. Written
This
by
is-
Rick Berman and Brandon Braga.
Of course.
No way.
Who would have thought it was Rick?
You know, really, like, if
Oh,
I was
boy.
in Starfleet and I knew the kind of things that would go on in the
Sexy
decontamination
decon scene.
chambers, I would just leave them out and just, what am I trying to say? Like, sure, some people will get space polio, but it's worth the cost.
You know,
Okay.
I wanted to say about this episode.
Oh, God.
So it's really funny how the
Oh, her
Cretaceans
shoulders are very bony.
the Cretaceans were mad at them, and it becomes like a running joke. Like they're a continually offended species. But then Archer says, "I'll show them what being offended is all about." He's very brash in this episode, and obviously because his dog's life is on the line, and everyone's
like, they're not doing good diplomacy here.
And DePaul keeps reminding him, like, you need the phase coils for the ship. So, like, and there's
Well,
no
maybe
other...
being a Starfleet captain should involve slightly more emotional control.
I think, yeah, like
Maybe
I
being
think
a Star Trek writer should involve slightly more emotional control.
Yeah,
or a producer, executive producer.
maybe we need to put some. Maybe we need to decontaminate some of the producers.
I think Archer is the
Decontaminate the
embodiment of Rick Berman in this episode. He's frustrated. It's coming out accidentally.
Is he a writer self-insert?
Yes,
Does he have
in this
Does Rick
episode.
Berman have an unhealthy fascination with dogs?
Like, he's sleeping in
I think-
sickbay.
He might have an unhealthy fascination with his subordinates.
Does he have bizarre erotic dreams about beagles?
Whoa.
It wasn't about a beak.
Porthos was
But,
dead in that dream.
Yeah.
So Porthos is the puppy from his ex-girlfriend's mom's dog.
Yes. This is
Okay,
a great story.
so
Great
there's like a
story.
whole weird
Background.
thing going on with this dog.
What?
No, and it's like
His
okay,
ex-girlfriend's mom's dog?
Yeah.
What?
Right. And
So he just explained his ex-girlfriend's mom
four
stayed in touch with
dogs.
him.
and
And when
they
her-
kept the three musketeers, and he's the fourth.
That's why he's Porthos.
Great story, but it's like a little bit too much like
Oh no. Oh no.
What's the line? Did I miss that?
No, it's about to happen.
Yes.
What do you mean, yes?
Has anyone else ever kept in touch with an ex's family? Unless you
gonna
had
say it,
kids, that
folks.
would make sense. But if you didn't have kids,
I'm sorry, you're doing
So,
this.
is
So
it-
what
is
you
it-
can, Archer?
I mean, you can keep a pet. Sorry.
Your only concern, Archer?
My only concern. This is like that. This is like the freaking. I gotta find the episode. This is like that.
Freaking weird, Archer.
Yeah, this isn't normal behavior.
This is like that TNG edit where
It's
like,
normal
the
behavior
Borg
to
are
Not
attacking
human
attacking the ship,
behavior. He's possessed by some sort of space parasite.
and everyone's running around on the bridge, and the ship's gonna explode, and then and they're like, Captain Picard, please do something about this, and Captain Picard is just like sitting in his quarters playing his flute.
I only care about my flute.
Wow.
You get a beagle. Calrissian chameleon.
Like Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
So, has anyone here seen the new Matrix movie?
No.
No, but I've seen Star
It
Wars
looks
with Lando
good.
Calrissian.
What? The Rise of Skywalker? Or Return of the Jedi?
Is someone talking about Risa?
Or Solo?
Did someone say Risa?
No.
Hmm.
You gotta get the little collectos or whatever it's called when you're visiting Risa, and you gotta turn off the
No,
weather.
what's that called? That's not even close.
No,
Remember, it
that's
was
a
a big
boss from
deal.
Zelda Skyward Sword.
This is my beagle, my boy.
Archer,
My
if you do
beagle.
this, Porthos might
Beagle, my
die. If you
pal,
don't do
God.
this, he will die. So just
That's
go
a
with
bit
it.
cute.
I mean,
It's not subservient.
Subservient quadruped.
that is what it is, actually.
Porthos doesn't like have a
Like-
job.
Yeah, but we keep them collared. And
Yeah, he
leashed
does. His
and
job is to
neutered.
keep the captain balanced. As you can
Yeah,
see, without
keep the-
Porthos, he's going unhinged.
Holding the
To keep the captain
together.
from just straight up like destroying.
neglecting the ship's needs.
Yeah, he,
Soma,
like,
one
turns
day you'll
them-
get that GIF up. Still not a
Gotcha,
GIF.
mate.
That's still just a JPEG. But
Yeah.
Try just linking directly to the image.
No, why is it doing that? I just copy link.
That's
Soma,
what
you
it
keep
is.
posting the same JPEG
Why is Porthos in a Bacta tank?
because he needs healing. What do you mean?
It's future surgery.
sick.
That's how you do it.
There we are.
It's like, we'll put your dog in formaldehyde.
Where did the dog even go?
Man, Captain Archer is like the last person on the ship I'd want
Yeah.
helping me with the surgery.
Yeah. His
He's-
hands are not
because
going to be
he's-
steady.
Yeah, he's incredibly tired and emotionally unstable.
Why does Porthos look so
He's
thick
too
in
close.
the tank?
He's too close to the subject. Like
Because
he's
of the
too.
sides are round. So it does that distortion effect.
Maybe he asked for like Archer to help because
It's an
if he got
interesting
anyone
ego.
else on the ship to help and the surgery failed, Archer would have them like decapitated and flush their head out the airlock.
He just
That would be
put-
amazing if
He's
Porthos
not-
could do
he's not a
that.
barbarian. He's gonna be able to change color when this is done.
No, not really. Unfortunately.
Why are you talking about sexual tension in the middle of your very important dog surgery?
Because this is
It's a Rick
human
Berman
behavior.
episode.
Dog surgery, or is it a pup procedure? Maybe. That's a lot of
General
permutations.
Doxtable.
You know, I'll be honest. Trying to date in this era is difficult.
In the 90s
And there's
or
so
in
many
the
people.
22nd century?
This is
No,
2001.
in
by the way.
our present era, because like so many people on dating apps are polyamorous. It's like I don't know. I don't.
My problem dating in today is so hard because I tell people I like Star Trek Enterprise and then they just stop talking to me.
Yeah, that'd be a
that
normal
makes
reaction.
sense.
How did you spend your Saturday night?
I mean-
Oh, you know.
You
I watched a dude be sexually frustrated and try to perform surgery on a dog.
you probably wouldn't want to date somebody who kept talking to you after that, anyways.
So they couldn't figure out
It's a big red flag.
Tucker or Archer was T'Pol's love interest at this point. Like we're in season 2, episode 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's
was a
unfortunate that they.
one-off.
I
don't
feel
think that. I
no,
think this
they had a
episode's just
lot
a big
of
lipped
hints.
alligator moments as far as they went.
N-
No way.
No, they had a lot of hints about Archer and T'Pol, like
I don't believe
the Pajem, like when they were snuggling and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, she, and the one where they flash forward into the future where she's living with him.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah, so
happened.
They
I forgot about that.
needed, they wanted
she
to
puts her
have
entire life
T'Pol
on
and
hold.
Archer.
Because Archer got
They wanted to
sick.
have T'Pol and Archer together, but for
That's
some reason they didn't
weird.
do it.
I'm glad
changed their
they
mind.
didn't.
No, I feel upset about it because I feel like I was hornswoggled. Like they set it all up and then they're like, no, she's gonna start dating Trip for no apparent reason.
Remember that TNG episode where Captain Picard fell in love by someone in like the astronomy department or something, and then she got
Yeah,
eaten by
he
she got like vaporized in some
No,
suicide
she didn't
mission.
get vaporized.
no, she didn't. She didn't
left
die,
the
but
ship.
You know, Archer
yeah, she
ain't,
left the ship.
Her career was ruined because of that
Archer-
relationship.
Archer ain't bad looking.
No, not
but
no.
Oh, hang on. Pause this discussion. We have a chainsaw now.
yeah.
I immediately
All good
retract
apologies
my
involve a
earlier
chainsaw.
comments about the prop design.
She survives. Picard's love interest survives the mission, but he says, I know now I can never put your life in danger again. And so she's like, yeah, I'll ask for a transfer. And he's like, that's probably a good idea.
He ruined her career, her son.
Why? Because she transferred off the ship of horrors?
He goes all, oh,
Yeah,
but we could
really.
still
She's
see each
just
other
This is
again on
supposed to be, like, the
vacation.
best place for a Starfleet officer. They're supposed to be super happy to be
It's
there.
the flagship,
And
but it's
she's
also the
electing
ship
to
of horrors.
leave
Every week,
because-
people are getting melted into the deck plates and blown
One
out into
time,
space,
someone melted
and-
into a deck plate. Once.
I think it's been more than once.
Times.
They're
Give
getting
any
they're
idea-
getting phased out of existence.
Yeah, think about.
They're getting
like,
abducted by subspace aliens and
Yeah.
experimented on.
Have you thought about how like holodecks are basically a perfectly safe technology, except when they're on the Enterprise? In which case they
Yeah.
kill 3 people a year.
Are you deleting the messages on YouTube?
Yes.
I see.
What happened on YouTube?
There's
I didn't see
many
it.
deleted messages. 3 of them.
It's just bots trying to post links to scam sites. Don't worry about it.
I
Oh,
see.
okay.
That's sad.
Message deleted. Oh, it's a Russian bot.
You know, it's Rick Berman's fan club spamming us.
Rick Berman is watching the stream and is sick to sock puppet bot network on us.
It's
Rick Berman.
there's only like a dozen messages.
I'm really glad that the
Yikes.
Archer.
It's a
That's
quiet
all
day.
right.
It's fine.
I'm gonna-
They're
Don't worry
like,
about
you
it.
know, Ryan, actually, I think the writer of this episode is extremely attractive. And
Who, Brandon Braga?
oh,
Berman's not a terrible looking guy, honestly.
can we delete that?
He looks a lot like Data. What's his name?
Oh,
The guy who plays
Look.
Data?
Brent
Spiner.
Brent Spiner.
Rick Berman needs to be freaking put back in the Coast Emojin.
yeah. Well, here T'Pol is saying, you know, we do get frustrated when we're cooped up together. She has the hots for him too.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah,
I
hypothetically.
refuse. Absolutely.
Hypothetically.
They're making T'Pol attracted to Archer too, so it's no.
Ew.
This can't happen.
Ew.
This is like the episode is just like the writer's room was just like Rick Berman mashing action figures together, and he's like, now kiss.
So you are suffering the way I am suffering. This will destroy us.
And then George Lucas showed up, and he's like, "Hey, Ricky boy, I'm a big fan of what you're doing here.
You know, I don't like
how would you like
Cretaceans.
to work
They're
with me on
coarse and they're
Star
rough and
Wars
they're
Episode
irritating.
7?"
They show up everywhere.
I like the apology though. Like the tree that was desecrated has to be cut up and ritually offered to the offended party. That's cool.
Oh, I wasn't here for that part of the episode. I thought they were doing like some kind of like they were going to like carve a bear out of that log with a chainsaw or something.
Yeah, they should have forced him to make art. That would have been funny. Because it could have been bad. And he could have maybe made an art of Porthos, but could
Yeah,
have
could have made a
little
beagle
sculpture
statue.
of Porthos
It
with
would've
a
been perfect.
chainsaw, and then he like chops the head off, and it like falls on the floor, and he's like, "Oh no!" The camera pans up into like Archer's face, and he just looks so fucking sad.
It's a
So where
good
does
thing.
sleep you outside the theater?
Porthos, he's
You should
awake.
have given him a laser chainsaw. Is it Star Trek? Look, he has a little band-aid on his head. Isn't that cute? I
They
like
should have put
Porthos.
they should have put like the cone on Porthos.
Back then, we didn't even have electric chainsaws. It was gas powered.
I'd like
It was an
Talking about back
isolytic
then.
chainsaw.
Of course we had electric chainsaws. I bet you we had electric chainsaws in the 50s and 60s.
There's a smile again.
This was what, like 2003?
Yeah. Of course we had electric
2001 or
chainsaws.
two.
You guys know the snow globe in Discovery with the Enterprise ship in it. Why doesn't it say Faith of the Heart on it?
Maybe it
What
says it on
is
the bottom and
wrong
we didn't
with
see
Hey,
it.
people.
But
Like they
love
play
if-
Archer's theme. They keep snubbing Faith of the Heart in
Yeah,
Discovery.
I love if like in one of the new Trek episodes, like there's some callback to Enterprise. It's like, now this reminds me of
They're playing Archer's theme in Discovery? What?
Yeah, they played
Yep.
it once.
They were like,
It was
It's
great.
not just space dock.
This
Archer,
reminds me of a dog I once read about, and then they like the camera pans off into space, and Faith of the Heart plays over the end credits.
All right,
Somebody
1 minute
send
to
me a link
Marauders. Marauders.
to
I
when they
unironically
played
like the
Archer's
theme
theme.
song.
There might be a link to it. They reveal Archer Space Dock or Archer Space Station or something.
Yeah, there is actually a YouTube clip by them.
What's his name? They could get Archer's actor, the Quantum Leap guy, to
Scott Bakula? Scott
Yeah,
Bakula?
they could get Scott
Okay.
Scott Dracula to like.
I
show
posted
up
the Archer Space
Discovery
Dock
like
scene
old
in
Dr.
Discovery
McCoy.
spoiler channel.
Thank you.
We're not watching that right now though because we're doing Marauders.
Are
Marauders.
there Ferengi in this episode?
Marauders.
This is the wrong Archer Space Dock scene, I think.
No,
Is
it's
it?
Klingon Marauders.
Yeah, it has
should be,
Discovery in it.
They should name
What's the countdown?
This is from the
planet
newest
after
15
episode.
seconds.
Porthos.
Hang on, get ready to press play in 5,
Yeah.
You
4,
posted the wrong.
3, okay, 2, 1, play.
Yeah.
There's a Discovery
I'll talk.
episode just like this in season 2.
Okay, there's the correct Archer Space Dock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But there is one by CBS, and so anyway.
I like this Wild West atmosphere. It looks like Tatooine, but besides that, the what is it, deuterium that they're refining or dilithium?
Apparently it's
Deuterium,
deuterium,
yes.
according to
It's
Ryan.
like one of the it's like
Deuterium trading post.
one of those bases the army threw together in like 2 weeks that's made entirely out of shipping containers.
This
Yeah.
episode is all about the classic teaching the primitive villagers defend for themselves.
I feel a scene right out of Army of Darkness here.
Or the townspeople.
Yeah, there's like, we the benevolent Federation bring to you the gift of
A
modern
gun.
warfare. Here, take this rocket launcher and point it at your fellow man.
They're not fellow men, they're Klingons. Kill them.
They're bullies.
I
We're
go
all,
with like,
we're all human.
I'd
that's
go
what
with like the
Kirk says.
Predator
That's
thing,
so
where if you
racist
just
of
like make
Kirk.
yourself so harmful and pathetic, they just won't kill you.
Is it though?
Yes. Well, I guess technically it's speciest.
It's
Species?
pathetic.
No. Singing is banned. All right. I have muted Discord, so now YouTube cannot hear you singing. For people on YouTube, they are currently singing Faith of the Heart, but you can't hear it, because I have elected to spare you.
God. To believe I've got strength of the soul. No one's gonna break me.
Does it matter that I said singing is banned on this stream? Why are you dying?
Faith is a heart. Not
Why?
sorry, Ryan.
Why?
I'm not
I
sorry.
didn't have strength of the soul here.
Ryan, you have
Ryan,
lost
why don't
control
you
of
have
the voice
face of the
chat.
heart?
Ryan, you have lost control of the voice
Why
chat.
don't you?
Ryan, you have to
motion
put
for
us down before we become
What do you
one of
move for a
motion-
vote of no
They're
confidence?
wearing
I
their
motion for a
Absol
vote of no confidence in your leadership, Chancellor
Second.
Ryan.
Yeah, okay, bye. There we go, disconnected.
That was a good soundboard there.
Is he gonna come back? I don't know, I just kicked him.
Oh, you kicked him. I thought you
I
played
didn't kick him
sound
from the
because you
server,
were
I
leaving.
disconnected him from the voice chat.
In my
Why do you kick
Discord
him and not
server,
me?
Because he
have,
moved
like-
for a vote of no confidence in my
I
leadership.
mean, I seconded the vote of no confidence.
Okay, bye.
I vote for
Damn, this
Ryan
is
to
literally
lifelong
1984.
Discord.
This is what Gorge
can overcome all.
Orange he
Long live Big Brother.
warned us about this.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back.
Gorge
Okay.
Orwell. He literally said about that.
What
Maybe you should
season?
yell at them.
What do you mean? It's not a harvest.
You know,
It's just hydrogen
refining
gas.
season,
I
you
think
know?
Like they mentioned
What does
that
this
like,
mean?
in the
Do you not
winter.
know? Do you not understand what an oil field is, Ryan? It's seasonal.
No, it's
Well,
not.
this isn't
seasonal.
oil. This is deuterium. It's a
So-
seasonal atom.
Like
It's-
during
it's
the
the- it's the
winter, they
same
have to slow
thing.
down, and
Yeah,
and the sludge that's left over is not as good as the one that the Klingons take.
The deuterium gets too cold and it stays in the ground. It doesn't want to come out. It's very shy, and it gets
Rick-
seasonal affective disorder.
Rick Berman wrote this episode too.
Thanks, Rick.
God, Rick
is
stealing
truly a
ideas from older
Wild
movies.
ride.
Yeah. By the way, I was gonna say before, Trip is cuter than Archer.
Mm. You're technically right, but I really hate Trip.
Hey, speaking of being banned, Ryan, you remember that episode where there was
God.
that like big sticky glue creature that was
Arm?
No,
Armus?
you don't need to elaborate further, thank you.
Armus?
No, what I
Someone
was gonna
say
say was
Armus?
I
if
know the
we-
one you're talking about.
Why
If we-
did you kill her?
if we
Because
gave
I wanted to.
if we gave Porthos that creature, do you think that would have been like a good way to like scientifically experiment? Or
No,
would I have gotten
I
banned from
wasn't
the show?
even singing. Okay.
You weren't kicked for the singing. You were kicked for moving for a vote of no confidence.
I moved for a
Inciting-
vote of no
inciting mutiny.
confidence.
I move for a vote of
confidence.
confidence. Total confidence in my own leadership.
I vote nay. I vote to table this matter.
I vote yes, but if you could make me co-admin of the Discord, I would so
No.
appreciate it. Okay.
I also vote for a 2% in a yeah.
All right, let's get to the actual episode that started 7 minutes ago.
Yes. Why? To Paul's
There's
being
the-
down.
Oh yeah, there's a show here.
So T'Pol, today of all days, decided to wear her solid, perfectly clean white uniform to the
This
dusty
is her desert uniform.
encampment.
It's made out of fancy Vulcan fabric that keeps her cool at all times.
Hey,
But
look,
it's gonna
it's a
get
species
so
that looks
dirty
exactly
so
like humans,
fast.
except for one
Hey,
forehead
it's an upgrade
feature.
from the DS9 desert uniforms.
What did they wear? I remember the robes.
They
You
have
mean
like
the
they have
robes?
like smocks.
Yeah, but like they have a division stripe, so they're uniforms.
They are. Wait, what?
They have a
Yeah,
division stripe, a
the-
color. Ryan is mildly colorblind, so he probably couldn't tell that it had a division stripe.
What was that episode called where they found it?
It was the
It was
episode
the
they
first one of
introduced-
episode 7.
The season 7 intro where they introduce Esri.
Don't they?
I actually like
The
it. Never
two-parter?
mind. This is actually cool as hell. I don't know why I was dunking.
I
on
like
that. This
I
is
like
way better
the
than
desert
Paul's outfit.
uniforms.
I think you're just like instinctively against
You
discovery.
know, Rick Berman is like, okay,
No,
we've got her
this
in our
is
white
DS9,
uniform,
not
but
Discovery. Does Discovery
no,
have
we-
desert uniforms?
I'm sorry,
Yes.
I meant Enterprise.
Rick
In the
Berman was
pilot
like, okay, now
episode
we
of
got her in a white
Discovery.
uniform.
I don't
Can
know
we
why I
splash
posted
her
in the
with
Star
water?
Wars channel. Let me fix
It
that.
kind of looks Star Wars. It looks like a Jedi robe. It all works out.
That auto suture
Actually
just
very
looks like
practical.
something you get at the hardware store. Like that looks like a
It's a cock
modified.
gun. It's a cock gun.
You can't
Wow,
give me
these are
this.
really
Don't worry
easy
about it. We don't have
cosplay.
money.
I mean, they spent all the money on the set of the sickbay.
Rick Berman would like to use his cock gun on a bunch of stuff.
Whoa. Okay.
No. Too
Well,
far.
I was saying how Rick Berman was like, "We got her in a white uniform. Now, can we find the excuse to get her wet?"
The last episode was
Which they're
written
in the
by
desert.
Rick Berman.
There's holes at the top of her forehead.
I
I think that's her hair.
I don't
or
think those are.
clips, hair
Yeah, they
clips.
look like clips to me.
I really hope those aren't like abscesses.
Ryan has gone mad with power, ejecting people from the chat.
I mean,
Yeah, I apologize for hating on the DS9 desert uniform. It's actually cool.
So in previous episodes, don't they get like deuterium from like nebulas and gas giants and stuff?
And
Yeah,
then
because
Rams
deuterium is
get
just
it.
hydrogen gas.
2151.
Like how are they getting it with these weird looking oil rigs?
2151.
I don't know. Don't worry about it.
It's literally
Damn.
just oil.
It's a
they pull it
hydrogen
out of the
isotope.
ground. They keep it in casks. It's a valuable yet also extremely
All
common
did not bring her external
commodity.
pocket.
Like the aliens, the Cetaceans in last episode, they were selling plasma injectors, and here's deuterium. So like all these warp parts are very difficult to come by. Only one species makes them per planet.
Deuterium's not hard to
Klingons is
come
going to
by,
look
though.
like-
It's everywhere.
One of the Klingons is going to have like an uncanny resemblance to Saddam Hussein.
Okay, it's a gas rig. That's fine.
Korok ship. Oh, does anyone know who Tessic is? Tessic.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Does anyone remember Tessic?
I do not.
Okay.
Oh, the Koraks are those little green people from Zelda.
No, they're Klingons. Well, just one Klingon.
Koraks, like, we must save the Great Deku Tree.
It could be
That has a really
Tessic, it
weird
could be
forehead.
Kessic.
It is forehead. There's like an angle.
Why do they just call it Enterprise?
Why not?
Well, they call it Voyager, except in that one case where
It's the
Tom Paris
Voyager.
points at the screen and says it's the Voyager. I'm amazed you know about that too, because that's one of the dorkiest scenes in the show.
That's an interesting.
When I last watched when I last watched Voyager, sorry, I'm really tired. 3 hours of sleep-ish.
Star Trek Villager.
Yeah, the last time I watched Star Trek Voyager, I'd say it's the Voyager every time the Voyager is on the screen. Every time.
You gotta remember that for the stream tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, now who's this dude?
He's a Klingon.
So they
Well, I
make it
got
clear
that part. That's Korok the Klingon, but who's the
They're-
actor?
they're not officially like from the Klingon Empire. They're just like pirates.
Why are these people are so pathetic? There's only like 6 of them. And there's 12 total.
They have a
But they're
starship. They could
famed Klingon
obliterate them from
warriors.
orbit. They
Yeah.
could stun them from orbit, like in TOS when Kirk stuns an entire city block with the Enterprise figure.
Oh shoot,
So-
they should have done that more often.
I
So
think they made clear
previously,
that they killed people too. Sorry.
in the first episode today, they talked about the planet Tessic 4. And I was going on, I was like, wait, I know someone named Tessic. Who's Tessic? This is Tessic.
I like that metal
Wow.
arch they have right behind them that does absolutely nothing.
I'll be back.
I knew there was someone named
One
Tessic
Klingon in the
somewhere.
background has got a weird, like, eyebrows.
Can we see Klingon? Can we get Klingons with unibrows, please? Oh, and they pushed him over and he fell on those rubber mats that are either made of rubber or steel, depending on what
They're
setting
definitely
they're in.
rubber.
Like, yeah, like they're rubber
Definitely
here,
rubber.
but in the Jeffries tube, they're made out of steel.
Because they clank when you drop stuff on
Yeah.
them.
And
They add
keep
the
complaining
ADR,
about
the
how
clank sound
uncomfortable they
in.
are.
So Korok here apparently also plays a Romulan pilot, and he plays a Reman.
And he also plays that music. He's like do 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 do.
No.
I like
Yeah,
how
for me-
their uniforms are kind of a callback to the TOS uniforms for Klingons, where they have like that shiny, flexible stuff underneath.
Yeah.
Let's get him inside. He was manhandled by a Klingon.
They're not men, though. They're aliens.
But that, yeah, would they be like Klingon handled?
All right, quick, get this Pelican case open.
I love how they're like, this guy's gonna die. It's no time to put away the dishes.
200
He
years in the
looks
future,
fine.
halfway across
He
the
has a
galaxy,
minor
there's
scrape.
Pelican cases.
Dude's fine.
No, it's life-threatening. He might get an infection.
Called
He's-
the laceration.
Barely hurt.
Shoot, do you know what this reminds me of with like the negotiating with like crime syndicates for some scarce commodity in the middle of the desert? Breaking Bad.
Okay. I don't think they're mining meth.
It's a valuable commodity.
You've
And,
never
like-
seen a
like,
Klingon in battle, have you? They're not that impressive, honestly.
They just need like Bryan Cranston to show up and he's like, it's chemistry.
What,
And
he's
then
just
he,
gonna
like, points-
stare down Korok and force him to back down?
Yeah. He just like runs out. He's like in their tent and he's like they're like the Klingons are the Klingons are coming, and he like runs out of the tent and he like points his finger into the sky at the Klingon ship thousands of miles
So is
away. And
this-
he's like chemistry, and then it explodes.
There's a new
So,
sheriff in town.
Has this scene? I'm about to link us the scene that I think they ripped off here, and I know they ripped it off in Mandalorian in the episode where Mando teaches a little village to protect themselves from the Dogman
Yes.
Raiders.
Yep.
This was like a
so
classic
is this-
Western trope.
Is this scene in Evil Dead Army of Darkness the first time that this happens, or is Army of Darkness ripping it off from somewhere?
The earliest that I know of is 1960.
Really?
The
What was it?
Magnificent Seven.
Magnificent Seven.
Oh wait,
Which is-
no,
Well,
that's
then it
based
would
on the
be
Seven Samurai, isn't it?
Samurai would,
The Seven Samurai.
right,
is
so
earlier.
Seven
Yeah.
Samurai must
Yeah.
precede it.
Returned.
So Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven, Army of Darkness, Magnificent Seven again, Enterprise, Mandalorian. And then somewhere in there is Mulan.
And Akira.
Akira.
I don't understand like the whole. I don't understand this whole like numbers franchise. It's really confusing. Like there's the Magnificent Seven, and then there's like Babylon 5, and I Am Number 4, and
Deep
District
Space
13,
Nine.
Deep Space Nine. Sometimes it's in space. Sometimes it's in the 19th century. I don't understand what ties it all together.
Oh, look at those boots
I can't see the boots.
and the belt.
Belt is just hanging on her hips. It doesn't have any like loops through the uniform.
Is that a
Well,
CD?
that's where she carries her external
on the
pocket.
left?
Yeah, the belt
she
isn't
carries
there to
her
keep
what?
the uniform up because her uniform's a onesie. It's just there to
Yeah.
Velcro like holsters
there
on.
to
Things
ex-
too. A
It's
holster.
there to accentuate her
But
curve.
it should still attach to the uniform so it doesn't slide off of her. But I
Apparently,
guess they're just
B'Elanna
counting
is
on
from
her
Kasek
hips
4.
and her awfully nice bum. To
Maybe
keep
it's Velcroed onto her hips.
Mm,
No, it's just
think it's
smaller
static
than our hips, it
friction.
doesn't fall off.
Right.
I think all
It's
she
definitely
needed
not
was
velcroed.
a little rabbit tail, and then that would have been great.
I missed that episode.
Has contacting the Klingon High Council
Oh,
ever solved
jeez.
the problem?
You want to give her a fuzzy rabbit tail and
Uh,
ears?
Contacting the Klingon High Council, has it ever worked? I mean, it worked when they tried to
Klingons-
contact the High Council, but they got the junior adjutant or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how did that work?
And he keeps telling himself that the Klingon High Council owes him, but they really don't.
They hate him.
Yeah.
They threatened to kill him last time he was there. Well, probably. Hoshi just said, you don't want to know what they said. But it was probably a death threat.
There was like what was the scene? Where they like I
Anyone
contact
ever realized that Hoshi's a mega mind?
What?
Hoshi is Megamind or was in
She
Megamind?
is a mega mind.
Okay.
She's real smart.
Like, she's so smart.
Also,
probably
we
the
don't use the
smartest
phrase
character.
Megamind, we use the phrase big brain on the internet.
Maybe you do.
That's what the kids do.
It's a regional dialect.
What's the crawler for? What are you doing?
It's transport or something.
Well,
Didn't
it's like
mention
natural
who it used
gas.
to.
That's what it's like. This planet, like, they can frack it, but for deuterium instead of
Oh.
natural gas. It's just hanging
was-
out.
I was watching. Speaking of like on-screen robots, this contains no plot information whatsoever. But I was watching the first episode of the Boba Fett show, and they had like the Boston Dynamics spots, like in the background, and they dressed him up in little like Star
Yeah, they
Wars
used some
costumes.
real world droids as droid props.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Wow. That's crazy.
The future is here.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, BB-8 and R2-D2 are real working droids, and even the one from episode 9 is a real working droid.
Yeah, but those
Well,
those were
R2D2 is
built as-
kind of a droid. There's a dude.
R2D2 has a man in it.
Yeah,
No,
well,
It's
they-
all
they
the
built
prequels.
working ones.
yeah, but those were built as props, whereas these are real robots that were
No,
turned
the-
into
the-
fake robots.
I suppose they are remote controlled. These ones.
What's the
but
Boba Fett show
they're
any good?
ones
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
they
it
built
was
were built for
good.
celebration. They weren't actually.
I'm
used
kind
as
of a
making
sim
the film.
for Star Wars. Like as long as they have Tatooine or like the John Williams score, I go nuts over it.
We literally only have the pilot episode so far, so it's not going to answer all your questions about Boba Fett.
Yeah, I liked it.
But yeah, it's good.
Why is his
It
name
has
Bob
Boba
A.
Fett in
Feet?
it.
Yeah, it has Boba Fett in it. And
Boba
it
Fett's
has,
actually a character now instead of a guy with one line in one movie.
and it has Tatooine in it, so I have to like it.
I heard it's really bad.
It's in the terms and conditions of Disney
Yeah,
Plus.
it's new Robo, so of course people are going to say it's bad. Don't worry about it.
we
Yeah.
we got into.
But people like Mandalorian.
We got into Jango Fett.
Mandalorian
People
doesn't
also
use an
dislike the
established
Mandalorian.
loved character.
And also, people dislike it as well.
Well, yeah, it did.
No, who?
It
What?
had Luke Skywalker. It had Boba Fett. It had
Yeah, I know some people aren't a big fan.
Bo-Katan. It has
Ugh, Boba
You're
Fett.
talking about
references to
season 2 here.
Admiral Thrawn.
After it was already an established show that people liked.
Okay.
This guy just
Season 1
reminds
was
me
all
of,
new.
What's his name? The tactical officer just reminds me of like Dr. Bashir.
Reed?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh,
How?
speaking
'Cause he's
of
British?
Siddiq Al
Yeah,
Fadil,
probably just 'cause
Al-Tahir,
he's British.
Al-Mahdi, Abdul Karim.
And he's like, I have a very British
Abdul
solution
Karim?
to
Who the
this
heck is Abdul
problem."
Karim?
I don't know what it was.
Abdul
Karim
Karim
Jabbar
Jabbar?
was a
His name is
basketball
Siddiq Al-Tahir Al-Fadil Abdulrahman Muhammad Ahmed Abdul Karim Al-Makti.
See, look, there's Abdul Karim in there.
Karim was like he was the antagonist in that Cowboy Bebop episode where they're trying to get the dog.
No, that was
Those rifles look really familiar to me. I'm not placing.
And he just bore an uncanny resemblance to Abdul Karim Jabbar.
Abdul Hakim.
Abdul
It was
Hakim,
Hakim.
yes.
Abdul Bulbul
yeah.
Amir.
So
Abdul Bulbul Amir.
I
There
learned
were
that song
heroes
strictly
aplenty,
because Lore sang it.
no strangers to fame in the troops.
No, thank you.
are
That's
led
enough,
by the
Robo.
Tsar.
Singing is banned.
You hate singing
I got faith.
of the
up.
heart.
I mean,
Going
Lore
where
sang
my
that
heart
song.
will
I'll
take.
mute you all.
You wouldn't dare.
Yes, I would. I would dare.
And I suppose Klingons wouldn't expect it, but they do have sensors and the capability of mapping the terrain.
Ryan, you know, I post no threat here because I can't even sing the whole song because I just break down after like 10 seconds. I just turn into like this big mess.
I like Tapalia. She like teaches them about mechlets and batlets.
You know what would be a lot better than teaching them how to roll out of the way of a
Why do
knife?
the
Just give them a
spotlights-
gun.
Why are they on those little freaking, what are they called?
What if a Klingon transports behind you?
Piston.
You're not able to shoot the Klingon.
Why are the spotlights on pistons? Why do they need to extend like that?
Everything's on pistons here. It's like that Rick and Morty thing where everything's on a cob except everything's on a piston.
Yeah,
That's how
what's
this
a
works.
or not a forklift, a tractor.
This reminds me of this like movie made by like a spring manufacturer in the 40s, just about the value of springs, and it's like one of those things where it's like a lecture disguised as a story. And like there's this scene where like this guy goes golfing and he's only talking about springs, and he's like, you know, in a way the entire earth is a spring because it absorbs force and redirects it somewhere else.
Okay.
She has good aim.
Keep on target. Keep on
Oh
target.
yeah, Hoshi had gun lessons with Reed in season 1, didn't she?
So are they just training these two guys to defeat, you know, the orbital battle ship that can just vaporize them?
They don't
They're
even have a
ready.
battleship. They have like a freighter.
They're readying
Yeah.
the whole settlement.
What's a bird of prey?
I don't think it has guns. Does it?
Why do you hate singing? Why do you hate Fate of the Heart? Why do
Yeah.
you not have
Ryan, why
Fate
do
of the
you
Heart?
hate Faith
He-
of the Heart?
He didn't just Michael hated it and then he
Why do you hate Rick Berman?
Well, I hate Rick Berman for real reasons. If I allow singing, it's just gonna be so much singing.
Yeah.
That's what the people want, Ryan.
I don't care what the people want. I care what I want. This is my live stream.
True colors are
1984.
revealed. Ryan, Star Trek's always been about music.
It's been about like concerts
Yeah.
and classical music.
concerts.
Like
Not
if I wanted to
obviously.
play like Bach's Fifth Concerto, is that okay?
No.
But if I wanted to sing the song the children sang, the hippies sang in the Eden episode of Star Trek,
Let's get down to business.
No. Shut up.
headed
Student
out
eat-
to Eden.
The Huns.
Why are you people the way that you are?
I'm just saying T'Palla's
Because we
helping
like
them
singing.
fight
We
the
like
Klingons
good
right now.
things.
She's
Headed
teaching them
out to Eden.
to be mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
Yeah.
Just listen to
And
Paul
then
describe how
and-
people are disemboweled with swords. We don't need the song.
No, it's commentary. I'm saying like once the Klingons head out, then it'll be like Eden. Headed out to Eden.
Why does she have a bat?
they
She's a
have-
big
Couldn't
lord.
they,
She
couldn't they just
stole it
make
from
like
the
a fake
episode when they
batleth?
were like crushing that ship in an atmosphere. Remember
It's
that
like
one?
That is
Klingon
true. Why
bat?
can't they just make like a batleth?
A shape, you know?
Like sure they don't
Made
have
out of
replicators,
cardboard.
but they do have maybe like they can like machine stuff, right?
See, she
Okay.
does.
Yeah, they
teach
have a
pilots, by the way.
transporter, but they don't
They
have
have like a
replicators. huh?
CQC machine that like you can just like use at
You
the
mean a
library.
CNC machine?
CNC
CQC
machine.
is close quarters combat.
Oh,
CNC
that'd
is
be
computer
useful
numerical
too, 'cause it
control.
would, for training
The
purposes
CIC.
or defense purposes, you just get you get the
Combat
robot to
Information
fight the
Center.
Klingons.
So I don't. Well, I guess deuterium would be flammable. I was gonna say I didn't know if deuterium
Deuterium
was
is
flammable,
very
but yeah,
flammable.
it's
It's quite clearly
flammable.
stated in this episode it's flammable.
Ask the Hindenburg.
Well, the Hindenburg wasn't filled with
deuterium
deuterium.
Deuterium is
Hydrogen.
heavy hydrogen. So
yes,
the
yes,
the
deuterium is
Hindenburg would
hydrogen
just
with a neutron.
it would just sink to the
Yeah.
bottom of the ocean.
It's still
Malcolm, that's
Well,
not
I don't know if it'd be
hydrogen.
that heavy.
a
I think
particularly
it's
good
that heavy. It's still gas.
rule because anyone is taller
It's,
than a
it's
space
called a
shuttle.
heavy. It comes from heavy water. If so facto,
Heavy water is a pseudoscience. Please stop.
If it means it's heavier than water, obviously.
No, heavy water's
So-
real.
So
Heavy-
even though it's a
heavy-
gas, there's gases that are heavier than air, so they wouldn't float if you've made a balloon with the heavier than air gas.
So if we pour
Deuterium,
these- if you
even
pour,
deuterium
like, these-
should probably be lighter than air. I'm
If
not
they're
100%
heavier
sure
than
on that.
water, does that mean
Okay.
like if you poured them out, they'd like sink to the bottom of the ocean?
Deuterium
and
would
you'd
be
have, air
like
pocket on the
as
bottom?
heavy as helium.
No,
You
like
could breathe.
deuterium is not going to sink through water.
I'm pretty sure deuterium would sink through water.
No,
Absolutely
Mr.
not.
Favorite.
It's a gas.
No,
It has an
like
really
you get
wouldn't.
deuterium by like
Really
you
wouldn't.
go to the heavy water and then you like
All right. So
Yeah, heavy water
deuterium
isn't deuterium.
has an atomic weight of 2 because it's 1 proton and 1 neutron. Therefore, it's
fucking
lighter
muted
than
him.
oxygen and oxygen.
and water has like an atomic weight.
He
of,
doesn't
like,
even know
one.
he's been muted this whole time.
Because it's made out of water.
He's just still
And
talking.
water's like it's like the liter, like 1 kilogram.
Anyway,
What
How
weighs
about that
more,
weather?
A kilogram of heavy water or a kilogram of deuterium?
A kilogram of heavy water.
that's right.
just
It's
the
a kilogram
deuterium
of steel.
inside of it.
It's a kilogram of water because water is heavier than deuterium.
And like 1 liter of water weighs 1 kilogram, so it has an atomic weight of 1.
Not how that works.
Water doesn't have an atomic weight because it's a molecule.
So then it's much less dense than deuterium, which has an atomic weight of 2.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, guys, can we go easy on Ryan, please? He gives up his weekends to watch Star Trek with us and make it happen as a community. It doesn't mean we have to.
It's
Bob,
such
stop
a
trying
burden for
to-
me to watch a TV show for a couple hours.
Stop trying to gain favor with the Fuhrer.
I'm just saying, it takes a lot to constantly censor people for doing stuff you asked them not to do.
It takes a lot to do constant bullshit. That no one ever. I have a thankless job here.
You have my permission to stop putting in that effort.
I'm. Did you change my name? Did you spell my name wrong?
I can change your name for sure.
I don't think it's changed.
I'm still typing it.
Nobody's
I'm trying to
favorite.
type, but I have gloves on.
Damn, you must be cold.
But you don't have the
So,
fingerless
I
glove.
vote-
You're not.
Wah, wah, wah.
How did
You're
my
not that
name
cool.
end up
There we go. I changed your name.
No
What
one.
is this no dash ones? That's not how you
Well-
spell no one.
Well,
Well,
if I just type
okay.
Noone, it just looks like noon.
I'm my own
Maybe I'm
favorite
saying-
Ryan. So it's got to be. So it maybe at least be more accurate if it was like
So-
one's favorite.
During the Crusades, Saladin put the Crusaders were like in a valley full of like wheat or grass, and Saladin set fire to the grassland, and the Crusaders were basically cooked in their armor. But plot spoiler.
Toasty.
I kind of want to watch just by myself that episode of The Mandalorian later.
did we wear you out, Ryan, with our antics?
Yes.
You know what I would have done here? Like, the Klingons always beam down to, like, that same intersection, so I'd have just put, like, a landmine there.
Yeah, that would have been a lot smarter.
Or if you don't want to kill
That'd
them,
be
you
blowed
could
up
put
your
a
own
little
equipment there.
pit that they fall into.
Yeah, you just do, like, a big hole there. And then, like, once they get stuck there, they get crushed to death by heavy water.
Or Enterprise, not the Enterprise, just Enterprise, could beam the weapons out of their hands. What are you doing? What's with
He
the
learned
bird
that
call?
bird call from Dr. Phlox.
Why beam the weapons out of their hands when you could beam the hearts out of their chests?
Because we don't
The
want to kill
dual
them for
hearts.
some reason.
Damn, tripwire. Yeah, it is his trip.
That's probably Trip's idea, yeah.
Look at their little booties. Look at their little booties. They look like they're from a Sinbad movie, like Sinbad.
I thought you were
Jeez or
talking
something, I
about
don't
the
know.
butts for a second, and I was like,
They're booties. Their shoes have like little curled up points on them. Yeah, see.
Just speaking in Klingon, but it literally just says Batak.
Those are spikes.
That's so
Zebras.
convenient that he swung in exactly
makes
the
him
way
look
that Paul
ridiculous.
thought he would swing.
yeah.
I wasn't able to say it over the singing, but yeah, T'Pol trained them against exactly one type of swing.
Yeah.
So as long as they attack in exactly that way, they're fine. They got it. Got it
I
unlocked.
wonder if it's the same wharf prop.
Don't you
Mech
know
left.
don't you know the attack rotation for the batleth is the same always? It's overhead, then it's side to side.
Yeah, it's
Overhead, side to side. Okay.
The fight choreographers only really kind of came up with one move.
The Batleth is a comically
Well,
stupid
no,
weapon.
not just one move. Occasionally they like punch people in the nose with the middle of the batleth.
I guess.
Yeah.
And like, if you have two people with batleths, then they sort of maybe get a little more complicated. But yeah,
When the Batleth inevitably breaks in half, it becomes a much more effective weapon.
Oh, look at
why
T'Pol.
I'm-
couldn't they give
I'm not sure about that
Yeah.
spin kick to Paul, but you know,
Jennifer
he'll win.
Lawrence over here.
Like, I know you don't have like replicators, but I feel like the flagship should have like more than two guns on it. You know what
The
I'm
poor
saying?
quality Batleth.
That batleth was flexing a lot. Did not like being stepped on. How about instead of just kicking these people and running away, we shot them?
This reminds you of that Simpsons episode where Bart ambushes the bullies and like Nelson's like, "You in what army?" And Bart's like, "This one," and like 200 kids pull out their water balloons.
So why can't the Enterprise just blow up the Klingon ship?
What's
Like, I know
the
they-
Enterprise?
I'm sorry, the
Because
Enterprise.
they don't want to know. They don't want anyone to know they're involved.
But like, the Klingons won't be able to squeal because they'll be vaporized.
Maybe. maybe their records will be recovered.
Is
Sensor
there anyone
records.
left on the
Maybe-
Klingon ship, or could they just take it?
They could probably take
Well,
Take
you
it,
should
park
just
it,
be
park
aboard
it
and
somewhere
take
else so they can't find it.
Yeah, like maybe
move it.
maybe some of the geniuses on
There
the
are definitely
flagship
some
of
people on the
Earth
ship.
could be like, now we will take these forensic records and push them somewhere else.
They're towed at Utopia
Just,
Planatia.
just steer it into the sun and this. Put it on a course for the sun.
Yeah, just drop it in a hole.
So fortunately, this little trick they're doing does work because Klingons are just idiots.
Yes.
They're moving
So
to the
they-
side.
They're officially in a gas field now.
They're strafing lazily to the left. These guys know some maneuvers.
They just dropped all the Batleths as well.
Yeah,
I really like Reed's gun.
Father.
I wish it was a ray
Proper
gun, though.
British.
I don't know what Star Trek has against ray guns these days.
what do you mean?
Ronald Reagan?
There were always phasers, ray guns.
What do you
Yeah,
mean? What do
over
they
the
have
years,
against ray
the
guns?
ray gun to pew pew laser ratio has dramatically shifted towards pew pew laser.
Well, that was just because that's the technology of like the Discovery era, right?
I don't understand why.
Like they
Just
didn't have
this.
the sustained phase. They didn't have like the sustained pulse lasers until like the Enterprise C.
What do you mean? They have them right
I
here.
blame the Defiant, and they had them on the TOS Enterprise.
Look at those special effects, guys.
I blame
Oh, they
Deep
did-
Space Nine for the transition
The-
away from the cool
of the
phasers to the
Defiant.
lame phasers. Yeah.
Hmm.
And like this Enterprise has the real phasers on the ship and the real phasers on the pistols, but the rifles use these slow-moving pew pew Star Wars bullet.
Oh, I
So
see.
what the Klingons could do
blaster.
is beam out and then just beam back in behind those people.
Yeah. Get your other 6 guys.
And then,
Or
of course,
perhaps
they
you
give the
can-
classic line, "Nothing personnel, kid," and they shoot them.
Perhaps. Yeah. The
They could
truth
kill them
is-
and take their ship.
The truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
So, kids, all you have to do is stand up to your bullies, and they go away.
All you have to do is to lure your bullies into a gas field and set them on fire.
I'm not going to endorse that, actually.
Hank Hill
Setting
approves of
someone on
this
fire would
solution.
stop them from bullying you. It would work.
Just give them a bloody nose, and that's it.
Maybe
Gotta
stop
defeat
fire
your
just
enemies
burning
with
away
an
your
efficient,
profits right now.
clean-burning fuel.
At least they have profits now.
Yeah.
True.
Now they can walk with the profits.
We're making the world safe for democracy.
Profit and lace.
What?
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 What? Who?
Profit
Okay.
and lace.
Shenmue?
Wouldn't it be really bad to have like a swivel chair on like a supersonic transport or something? Because then, like when you go supersonic, like the ship,
Inertial dampener.
yeah, but the inertia, like it accelerates the rest of the ship faster than you by a little bit, and you just like spin around and fall out.
When I think this came up before, but when I was searching for information on the shuttle prop, some guy owned the prop and recently, I think a few years ago,
No.
sold it for like $120,000.
Now you will give all
So
of
if
your
we
gas
all
to
pool our
us.
money together,
We could share it. We could have
Maybe
like a
some
timeshare
faith of
agreement.
the heart and the
with
shuttle pod.
You know, now that I think of it, the Horta episode of TOS, they were like miners and they had a whole industrial like mining city on the planet's surface.
Mhm.
So it was really like oil derrick town in some TOS
Oh,
planets.
did they mine deuterium or did they mine like durerium?
there was the first Mud episode where it's some backwater mining colony
Mud
and they go and like sell women to the miners.
Yeah. I
What's
remember
up with
this.
that?
There's robots.
They weren't robots.
That
Berman was
episode
even
has
involved.
such a strange, it's such a
That's just
strange
Gene
episode.
Roddenberry.
It was.
Yeah.
I was
You
really
probably write
surprised that
books
they
about
brought
that
Harry
episode.
Mudd of all people back in Discovery.
Yeah.
Like I was
I-
expecting to see heading out for Eden Guy before Mudd came back.
All I wanted
I
was
like
a ray
Discovery
gun.
Mud way more than TOS Mud.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
true. I agree.
It
I
was
like
good.
Mud and Discovery.
Even though he's a total, like, violent psycho.
A murder?
Which
Yeah,
is
for sure. Don't
yeah.
worry about it. Anyway, that's the last episode for today. So, in 6.5 hours about, Star Trek will no longer be on Amazon Prime. Which
Very
means, need to find an alternate source to watch it for tomorrow's stream.
We'll do everything
Which
except pay for
is-
CBS All Access.
Tomorrow's Voyager is Resistance, which is
Oh, that's a good one.
Janeway's trapped on some planet where there's a civil war or something?
Yeah, I think so.
There's Prototype, which is a Balana episode, and there's a
Prototype
robot.
That's the one with the Preller, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, the
Preller,
robots.
Preller.
Preller.
The robots that are in their own little civil war. That's that one.
Mhm.
And then Alliances, where they try to make peace with the Kazon.
That's a good one.
So yeah, that's tomorrow.
I propose that we pool our money to buy that shuttle pod, and then we like convert it into a roadworthy vehicle, and then we can like drive it around and like we have to go on a fun-filled adventure road
cheaper.
trip to California.
It's almost
It'd
as
be
bad as
cheaper
the
just to
frog
start
shuttle pod.
from scratch.
We have to build our own shuttle pod car and then use it to kidnap Scott Bakula.
So
Force him into
apparently,
and like coerce him into making the 5th season of Enterprise against his will.
Sounds fun. I don't want another season of Enterprise, honestly.
But season 5 would have had more Shran in it.
Yes, this
Yeah.
would have been good. But what would have been bad? We would have had to suffer through T'Pol being half Romulan, because that's lame drama.
We could get A Night in Sickbay Part 2.
And we get to have the Dominion War story repeated to us with the Romulan War.
We could get like Captain Archer gets really like sick and he has to go to sickbay, and then his dog gets all torn up and almost torpedoes this treaty he needs to sign.
Okay,
I'm
stream's
sure Night in
over.
Sickbay would have absolutely gotten a sequel. The show went on. They
Thank
gave
God.
Fairhaven a sequel.
And it was